All right. Hey, folks. Good morning. Let's see if I am active and audible at this point. Hold on real quick. Checking in. Looks like we might have a stream up and running. Oh, okay. So I'm on a title plate right now, and I bet that's going to flip over here in a moment. So I'm just going to start cutty-pasty stuff into the social medias until I can acknowledge that this is actually live. But we're going to be here for a few hours today. We're going to do some character design, we're going to do some ship design, and we're going to do some playtest prep. So give me a second here while everything falls into place. I bet it's rolled over at this point with a refresh. And here I am. All right, cool. So checking my volume here. Mic check, mic check. 1, 2, 3. Here I am. Okay. All right, cool. So checking my volume here. Mic check. Sounds like I'm good. All right, that'll do. And we'll drop that volume down to nip so that it doesn't get in the way. And I'm going to just go ahead and finish posting on the social medias, on Discord and Twitter, etc., to make sure that anyone that wants to check out what the hell it is that we're doing here can check it out. So, but hey, my name's Phil. I create role-playing games. I illustrate them, and I publish online. So I've got a slew of books in the description down below that you can check out. I've been focusing my attention on Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition. Basically since the release of Guildmaster's Guide to Ravnica in 2017. That's what started my 5e professional homebrew kicking, creating color mana systems for MTG D&D crossovers. So you can use color magic when you're casting spells or using powers as a character. And one of the things that we've been developing during the week has been the martial power system, which is being updated with the 2024 new rule set, and it's been absolute joy. Other stuff that I do, my other passion currently, on weekday mornings, Monday through Friday, we do Eberron cartography. We're making an Eberron adventure for level 7 and 8 in the Carnwood, fighting undead. And that's interesting. Let me get my screen fixed here. And the other passion I have, which has been since I was 16, is Spelljammer, Combat and Exploration. This is a supplement that I built to augment and embellish the loose mechanics that Wizards of the Coast provided for Spelljammer 5e. So we created a deep dive using all the mechanics of 5e, combat, action economy, and resolution systems using the stacking D20 system to basically build combat and exploration options. It's 107 pages, 82 of them are just rules about how to perform ship and fleet combat using 5e rules. So it's a vehicle mass combat system. It's a way for characters to use their action economy in combat to have dogfights and fast-paced battles, much more akin to like Battlestar Galactica 2003 or Star Wars, versus the slow ship movement that is kind of implied from the 80s, 90s version of Spelljammer, being like boats floating in space, slowly trying to turn about to get guns lined up to fire. This is a very fast, dynamic, like 6-second rounds, having crews of teams firing weapons. And you can see here that we have the action economy of a normal character broken up depending on what role you're playing on the ship, whether you're piloting, commanding siege crews, commanding multiple ships, or offering support on various magical systems and roles that you can play on the ship. You can use your action economy in different ways during the course of a round of combat. Of course, a round of combat is 6 seconds. These ships can move 100 million miles per day, which is roughly 10,000 miles every 6 seconds. And they are using siege weapons from the olden days and some magically embellished weaponry as well. So they're basically having teams being able to fire one or more shots per round, depending on how many siege weapons you're using and how skilled, how high of a level your character is, and how well they can roll on their attack rolls will help determine whether they're able to quickly reload weapons or not. And as they gain higher levels, they can reload smaller, less damaging weapons quicker, and larger, more damaging weapons they can fire more frequently as well. It's just the rank of the level of your character, your proficiency modifier will heavily impact how quickly you can command siege crews to load and fire weapons. And the same thing with ships. You can order ships under your action economy to make attacks as a squadron with coordinated volleys to attack other squadrons of ships, and then they can engage at a smaller scale to engage in dogfighting combat, like between fighter ships. So we have all those mechanics in here. They all work perfectly well. It's really well play tested. It's a fantastic system. I am honestly amazed that I'm the guy that invented it. Wow, I am humbled by what the muses put through me to put on paper, and it is a blessing. So one of the things that we're doing right now is we're making a subclass for each of the classes to work with and complement these rules. The back 25 pages, sorry, rest of my spiel, the back 25 pages is a conversion guide for Paladins or Axis. So you can see how to use all of these combat and exploration mechanics that I've created, how they can actually be used in an adventure, and what better way to do it than to use them in Paladins or Axis. And that will help build a template for a DM to understand how they can implement these different rules to be able to create their own campaigns for themselves. So there's a few things. We're building combat tokens. Later on today, we're going to detail and render lighting on this token. This is Vokath's fortress in Paladins or Axis. Spoiler alert: in the third part of the adventure, you're in this place called Doom Space, where there's a bunch of planets that are dying, and there's these different warlords representing different planets that are trying to figure out how they're going to get by. And they all converge at this space station owned by a mercane named Vokath that is providing ships to these different factions so that they can potentially mobilize and escape their dying system. So your characters have the opportunity to come in and become a leader for them, to have a cause to fight the Zeraxian elves, and then to find and then after that you are then indebted for them helping you. You're indebted to help them find a new home world where they can settle. With your world being saved, you can invite them to come to your system and to start populating like Anadis or well, obviously Toril if you're doing Forgotten Realms, stuff like that. So we converted Vokath's base. It's a stationary base in the adventure, but since we have fleet mechanics and the Spelljammer rules that we use allow you to operate a ship up to 500 feet in size. If these are 50-foot squares, it's a 10 by 10 space. Vokath's base happens to fit rules as written. As written in the adventure, it fits inside of a 500-foot space. Super convenient. So this base sits inside of a 500-foot square. If you strap a Spelljammer helm to it, you can operate it as just a freaking huge ship. Here's a comparison to how big other ships are compared to just how massive this ship is. So it can just absolutely crunch on any of these ships. So when a fleet of Star Moths arrive, there's I think 16 Star Moths that arrive, and that are Astral Elves trying to throw their weight around. You'll have the opportunity to lead all of these allied ships and Vokath's Battle Crab as a massive tank to fight off the elves. And the way that the adventure is written, this encounter inside of the campaign is written, is that if you defeat the elves, you automatically win support of the warlords that you're trying to cater favor from to help you fight the elves. If you can defeat the elves here and now, they're like, oh yeah, if we side beside you and bring all of our ships to bear, we can definitely take the Zeraxians. This is a great idea. So they'll get on board with you. Anyone that loses a ship during the battle, you're going to have to make additional commitments to and do some diplomacy stuff, which is already written into the adventure. So all you got to do is just follow the diplomacy rules that they have laid out for each faction. But if they survive the battle with their ship intact, you automatically succeed. They're automatically willing to help you. It's only the people that lost their ships that need replacement ships, which Vokath would confront the tab to and then put you in debt to work for him in later levels. And then they'll come and help you. So, yeah, so we're going to get to that later on. But specifically right now, tangent inside a tangent inside a tangent. I'm on the X Twitter platform at Phil Kearney. You can check me out there if you want to find out when I'm live in the future. And please do like and subscribe and hit the bell. We have new subscribers. Thank you so much, folks, for being interested in all this stuff that I'm doing. We have the actual Spelljammer book that we're looking at here. It's on DMsGuild right here. You can click on that if you want to check it out. Nope, sorry, that was the full playlist of all this stuff that we're doing. And this is the let's see, the Spelljammer Combat and Exploration document that I'm looking at is right here on DMsGuild. There's you can use this for a 25% discount if you're interested in supporting me. There's over 120 tokens, mapping assets, character sheet, ship character sheets, and wild system templates for you to be able to build, plus a stack of asteroids for you to throw onto your map when you're doing obstacles and stuff in space, and all of the maps, NPCs, and ship tokens and maps needed for the entire campaign of Light of Zaraxis. It's all inside of here, plus all the new mechanics. So if you think that's cool, check it out. But right now we were talking about making new subclasses. So yesterday, if you checked out my live stream for the Martial Power System, we did a deep dive into how the mechanics for Paladin is changing. And Paladin happens to be the next type of character that we're going to be building a subclass for our Spelljammer subclass book. This Spelljammer book the subclass book that we're building right now has mechanics specifically designed to work with combat and exploration. So it's going to be very, very cheap. It's going to be like $5 on its own, but it's designed to be a tie-on to buying this book, a sister product, basically a coupon for this book. This thing's only $20. We'll bundle it down to $15 for this, and then the subclass book will be $5, but we're going to bundle it down to like $2, so that getting both the book of subclasses, 13 subclasses, designed specifically to work with the mechanics that are inside of this book, so you can have a unique Light of Zaraxis and run your own Spelljammer campaigns and be able to build them. That'll all be like $17, and you'll get shitloads of and then I've got a whole stack. I've got like 150 tokens, asteroid tokens. I have in a art pack that I'm going to include with this as well. It would be $4. I'm going to drop it down to $1, so there'll be $29 worth of value, and it'll only be $18. So there you go. That's what I'm doing. So right now we're making the subclass for the Oath of the Paladin, and so I need to get into the Paladin. So we're building. We're going to build the. Hold on, let me drop this into a separate area here. Great. So let's see. Way of the Living Ship. And what size is that? What is that? A 14, I think. Yeah, it's font size 14. So give me a second here for me to build and structure this. So we're going to build the Path of the Oath of Salvage here now, and then we're going to... I know that we're going to have to update this stuff with September, so I don't expect this to publish anytime soon, but it will publish shortly in September. Let's see. And these are 13, so I'm going to grab this. This is probably the... Yeah, let's do that. 13. Go down here. So Oath of Salvage. This is going to be basically you're taking an oath to rescue stranded mariners in the astral sea, or rather in wild space. You're not really. You could be stranded in the astral sea if you don't know where you're going, you know how to get there, and you don't have a ship anymore. So yeah. So Oath of Salvage is basically rescuing and salvaging ships, so helping keep space tidy. So I know there's tenets, and I know there's a scaffold that we need to follow. So that's what we're going to get into right here, right now. So Oath of Conquest, Paladin Oath of Salvage. This oath calls on Paladins to rescue stranded mariners in wild space and the astral sea. This oath calls upon to rescue stranded mariners and ships. ships lost in wild space in the astral sea. There we go. Simple enough oath, I guess. I know it needs to have a tenant. So let's go with the, what is it? The, yeah, tenants. 1, 2, 3. Tenants. Let's look at some themes of different tenants. Honesty, courage, compassion. Leave no one behind. How they word these? Never leave a living. Never leave a living soul. Never leave a living soul to be stranded. Never leave a strand. Never leave us. Never leave a living soul. Never leave a soul to die in space. There we go. I could take them aboard my ship and then execute them, but you don't just leave them adrift. Leave no one behind. The law of salvage. Hold on, this is probably a really good place to start. Abandoned. First to find has first rights to anything. First to find has rights to salvage. To claim anything found adrift. There you go. First to find has rights to claim anything found adrift. This allows various types of alignment to operate. Like whether they're actively stealing something, they can honor their tenant by killing everyone aboard a ship, and then taking the ship because it's basically left to its own devices. But in general, it's just an honor among salvagers that whoever's the first, the law of salvage, uphold the rules of first to find has rights to claim. Uphold the law of salvage. First to find has rights to excuse me. Did not expect that. Leave no one behind. Never leave a soul to die in space. And what we need. So we have how to handle objects that we find. Let's see. Let's see. Beacon of Hope. Is that a spell? Hold on. 5e Beacon of Hope. Damn it! It's a spell. Let's see. How about this? Light in the night. Light in the dark. Always answer a call for help. In the space between worlds. I can just be always answer a call for help, period. Always respond to a call for help. You can help someone, you can extort them. If you're evil, you can extort them, that's fine. You don't have to do your services for free, but you're always going to engage. That's the rule of the tenets there. And let's see. You're probably going to have a chunk of bonus spells. Let's see. Channel Divinity. Two. These tenets, is that what it is? Follow these tenets. Intention. The intentions may vary. Paladins of this oath follow these tenets. Like you could be a pirate. You could be an evil dark pirate that's a paladin that follows these rules. You respect, you will legitimately respect that if someone else has salvage that you want, you will leave it to them. You could conspire to take control of their ship and thus be able to take the salvage from them. But generally, you would be able to potentially ally and make a deal with them, but the rule would be to not betray them. They have rights to claiming this. They can take it. Light in the dark, always respond to a call for help. A pirate would always respond to a call for help. You may result in extorting or attacking an active ship, but they will definitely respond. And then leave no one behind is again, you don't make people walk the plank and then drift off into space to die by suffocating. If you're an evil pirate, you will absolutely take captives and either sell them or ransom them back for additional fee. But you'll absolutely not leave them behind. And this doesn't count for undead constructs or extraplanar creatures that don't have souls. This is specifically for living creatures. or anyone else that you feel deserves your respect. But yeah, you could just leave autognomes or undead behind just to die, because technically they won't die without air, so they could just be left to drift like that. Constructs, any type, like golems, stuff like that. Demons, devils, angels, they don't have ages. They never die of old age. But they can suffocate. So if they can suffocate, you won't leave them for dead. Is basically the way that I'm looking at that. But everyone can follow the rules as they please for themselves. It's just that they have rules. So Channel of Divinity. Let's see what we got going on here. You gain the following 2 Channel of Divinity options. Where's Aura of Conquest? 7th level Aura of Conquest. That's going to be so sweet. Aura of Fresh Air. Starting at 7th level, you constantly you have a permanent emanate a bubble surrounds you in extending 10 feet. This air is anyone within the bubble, your aura. At 18th level, the 18th level, the range of the aura. The range of the aura extends to 30 feet. Increases to 30 feet. Starting at 7th level, a bubble of fresh air continuously surrounds you, extending 10 feet. Anyone within the aura extending 10 feet the aura extends 10 feet from you in every direction, but not through total cover. The bubble air, the bubble is always while you the aura remains present. Unless you are dead. The aura. The aura ceases. The aura ends if you die, but otherwise remains. Remains fresh if the air is fouled. You can purge. You can refreshen the aura. You can freshen. You can refresh the air in the aura as an action. Oh, wait. Here we go. This is better. While in foul air, you can preserve the fresh air within your aura by maintaining as an action and while maintaining requiring concentration. Let's see. Which can be maintained even while incapacitated. Period. The aura ends if you die. There we go. Hey, what's up? Cathartic cards. What's going on, man? Thanks. Yeah, so we're building a Paladin, right? Let's see. Channel Divinity. I don't know what my Channel Divinity feature is yet. It can't be anything too significant. I'm thinking like a I want to, let's see, 20th level, 15th level, 7th level, 3rd level. What else happens at 3rd level? So 3rd level, you get some spells. We got some spells. Oath of Paladin listed above. You get your spells. Channel Divinity at 3rd level. 7th level. Scornful Rebuke. 15th, and there's, no, what is that, 15th? Is that right? 15th and 20th. Jeez, McCrow. All right. And 20th. So we're gonna have to come up with a transformation aura. Oh my god, that's gonna be crazy. 20th aura, 15th level. Oh, that's what we should do. Channel Divinity. I've got it. Let's see. When you take this up to the level, you get the following 2 Channel Divinity options. Do all of them get 2 options, or is it only occasionally 1? 1 and 2. And 1 and 2. So let's see. Athlete Smite. Okay, so this is a... Okay. So you get 1 per short rest, right? Let's see. You gain... the following 2 Channel Divinity options. And this is going to be... let's see. Okay, lay on hands. Let's see. You gain the following 2 channel. Let's see. How do they word these? Fearless, Inspiring Smite. Let's go see something else. Crown. Turn the Tide. Let's see. Divine Repair. Let's just call it that. It's a horrible title, but we'll call it Divine Repair. Divine Repair. How do we word these things? Hold on. Learn as we go. As a bonus action, you can use your lay on hands to mend broken ships and structures. Each hit point of healing. Each hit point of healing spent repairs 10 hit points of damage to the target ship or object. And then we need, let's see. So the tenets here of the Paladin of Salvage. It's basically a salvager, right? Don't leave people behind. Always answer calls for help, and first come, first serve. That's the laws of Salvage. So you're trying to uphold these tenets. So you could be a scrapper that's just trying to make sure that people aren't left, and you're just trying to keep the space clean. You could be a pirate that's actively looking, that follows this code while you are a raider and a pillager. Or you could be somebody that actively a privateer that actively battles pirates. So you have those 3 spaces as an independent scoundrel type, a rescue squad, or a pirateer. So, or a pirateer. So this is nice to have on his background on doing some. No kidding, you're an MTG guy. Right on. You've hung out here before, right? Or yeah, you've been here before. I get a lot of people coming through, so my apologies. But I'm a huge MTG nut. So Light, Darkness, Tenets, Salvage, Divine Repair, and what's up? What's another? Beacon. Beacon. Beacon of no, Rescue Beacon. Nope. I've got a new keyboard and the buttons are weird. I don't know if I like it or not. So I'm having a difficult time not looking at my keyboard and hitting the buttons that I want. The old keyboard I had, the little nubs on the F and the J have completely worn off. So when I just blindly touch the keyboard, I have no idea where my hand is at on my old keyboard. So I got a new keyboard that has the F and J alignment, but the keys are really weirdly packed, like it's a really compact frame. So I don't think I like it. I think I'm going to switch to just a hard mechanical, and there'll be a little bit more clickety-clackety, but I think people kind of like clickety-clacky in an ASMR sort of way. But what's up? New MTG creator, nice. Trying to interact with the community and meet more people. Glad to meet you. Hey, what's up? If you're a D&D enthusiast as well, you may or may not know my shit. But I built the 5-color mana spell point variant rules for use with D&D. It's basically a series of books that offer conversion guides and options for using color mana instead of the 8 schools of magic and spell slots. So this is the basic revised 5-color magic list here, provides the tenets of how each aspect of magic works, the damage type that's associated each one of them. This is all based off of general card stuff, and so it converts all of the spells in D&D into the white, blue, black, red, green. The mana system is different. You gain a number of spell points based on level, and when you cast a spell, like a 3rd level spell costs 3 mana. If it's a fireball, it's going to be a red spell. So you'd spend 3 mana, one of which has to be red, and the other 2 can be whatever you want. So you can stack up you can customize your mana pool with different colors on a short rest or a long rest, and each character gains different amounts of mana based on the level of their character and what their class is. Full casters get 80 at 20th, half casters get 40, and then the tricksters and eldritch knights get 20, and a monk gets 20 on a short rest, and a warlock gets 20 on a short rest as well. And a sorcerer has 100. It's 80 plus their sorcerer pool of 20, so they have just a pool of 100. So yeah, if you're an MTG D&D guy, check this stuff out. And in September, when the new Player's Handbook drops, I'm going to be rebuilding all of these books to incorporate the new rules for 5e24, as well as currently it only addresses Ravnica, but we'll be integrating Theros and Strixhaven along with Ravnica to be able to build the whole thing out. So keep an eye out for that stuff in the future if you're interested. But back on point. Get back into the source. Get back into Paladin. Yeah, absolutely. If you decide to buy the stuff, you'll get all 500 whatever spells that have been published by Wizards so far in editable spreadsheets that are broken down by class, as well as like Strixhaven background and Ravnica background. And all the rules are pretty simple inside of there. The revised list, like the original system, we had 1 color per spell, but that was too restrictive. I've been using it for 7 years now. I've ran 2 20-level campaigns with it, and so the overall analysis of that has been only 1 color per spell is too restrictive. So if using those tenets that we have, you want to look at the revised list, because some spells have multiple colors that it can be cast as, like a blue spell or a white spell. 1 point of blue or 1 point of white is sufficient. But with all the new tech that's coming out in 5e24, I have to update the book so it remains compliant. And so far, I've been loving what I've been seeing. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how I can bend all of these new mechanics into the color philosophy. And it's also a good opportunity. My layout skills and production have improved in the past 7 years. So I can now reapproach these books and refresh the look and, you know, like glam it up a little bit, be able to stamp good for 5e24, and just keep doing them. So the Rescue Beacon, that's what we're doing right now. As a bonus action, you can use your divine awareness. What is it called? Optional class features. No, I just want class features. It's the divine sense. Thank you. Presence equal to you can use this feature a number of times equal to 1 plus Rescue Beacon. As a bonus action, you can use your channel divinity with your divine sense to automatically detect, to automatically succeed any ability check using the perception, using the insight, investigation, perception, skills, or while using an orrery to scan to make a scanning check. Automatic. Let's see. As a bonus action, you can use your channel divinity with your divine sense. No, let's go with. I don't need to use divine sense. You can use your channel divinity to automatic. If you, let's work like this. If you fail an ability check using the insight, investigation, or perception skills, or while using an orrery to make a scanning check, you can use your channel divinity to instead succeed as though you can. Wait, okay, I'm working on this. When you make an ability check using the insight, investigation, perception skills, or while using an orrery to make a scanning check, you can change the result. You can change the roll to result in a 20. You can you can use your channel divinity feature to change the roll to a result of 20. You can decide to do so after rolling but before you know the result of the check. There you go. So looking at the mechanics here, the rules of exploration. And again, this is the Spelljammer book that I have, which is here on DMsGuild, which I was talking about at the beginning of the session. You can check it out if you're interested. But scaling distance. So in exploration, there's scaling distance, and space is massive. We're dealing with billions of miles, and your ship can fly 100 million miles per day, which is 10,000 miles every 6 seconds, or 100,000 miles per minute. So the chances of you like seeing a 5-foot object is pretty fucking minimal. Like it's like literally shot by like at a quarter of the speed of light. So you're not gonna see that, it's too small. So we have a thing called an orrery scan. If you use the orrery station, and let me show you that real quick. Here's an orrery station. You basically, the orrery is like a little handheld device that'll show you planetary-sized objects in the system, but if you plug it into the station, it'll create a hologrammatic environment around it that can zoom in. I mean, you can see system-wide stuff, but you could also then zoom in to see smaller things that could be much like a wasp ship is 150 feet in size. So it's in orbit around this planet, which is in orbit around the sun, which you can pick up if you make a good orrery check. So orrery checks are blip down here to the endurance, to the exploration. And so I can probably open this up a little bit. A ship that can fit within a 500-foot space, which would be called a vessel. Its detection range with an orrery, you can pick it up at 100,000 miles, and the DC would be a 22. If it's beyond 100,000 miles, you'd roll with disadvantage, but you can still potentially detect it. So generally what you can do is you can just make an orrery, like an orrery scan. I'm just going to scan space. And you can make an ability check, basically just a skill check, either insight, investigation, or perception using intelligence or wisdom. You have a lot of options to scan through space. It just has a different flavor. But depending on what the result it is that you get, you would roll 2 dice. You always roll 2 dice together. The player rolls one and the DM rolls the other. So the player might roll like a 15, but the DM may have, like, the result that the DM had may have ended up being like a 36. So with disadvantage, it would only be a 15. So you would be able to detect like a 5-foot object. You'd be able to detect it with a 15. You would fly right by it, because with disadvantage on that 36 or a 15, that's not enough to see a 5-foot object, even if it's within 50 feet of you. At best, you would be able to detect a 50-foot object that's within 50 feet of you. You'd definitely be able to detect the wasp ship that we were just talking about. With a die roll of 15, you'd have to be within a mile of it. So the DM can use your die roll with stuff that's in here, like that 5-foot object, that could be a shark. Like it could be a scav or a wild space shark. If you didn't see it, it is now hiding inside the wake of your ship, and it is riding inside of your ship. It's not that the thing doesn't exist. It's just that you don't notice it. So the DM can have any amount of shit floating through space, and the speed that you're moving at, as long as you don't hit it, you're potentially not even going to notice it. So you can see that there's a planets over there. There's like a cluster of asteroids off in the distance. And you don't notice the little school of space piranha that have slid into your gravity plane, and they're going to start eating your crew. If you don't do something, they become an infestation that can eat your crew. You've got fucking space piranhas on your ship. And they can just fly around, and as long as they don't touch ground, they keep their own flight. That's how Spelljammer works. As long as you don't touch something else, you retain your own gravity plane. So you can have these little schools of piranha flying through passages inside of your ship, eating people when they run into them. And as long as they don't land, they're fine. so like that's a thing, but like you wouldn't notice that like a cloud of piranha could be a 50-foot space. And oh shit, okay, well, as soon as they get like within 500 feet of your ship, looks like we have a pack of piranha that just hit our deck. And now you've got piranha in your field, and you became aware of it like right as they entered your field. And now it's like, we have piranha, we're gonna have to deal with that. Now your team has a random encounter to go up on deck or on the underbelly of the deck to start fighting piranha that are flying around the ship looking for easy targets. So anyway, that's like a random idea offhand. So in this scenario, when you're doing a scan, when you're using an orrery to make a scanning check like that, we can now use our channel divinity feature for us to treat it. We roll a die roll. It's like I know my die roll is not so good, so the DM's is probably going to be worse. So let's go ahead and make that result a 20. There you go. While in foul air, you can preserve. No, wait, where are we at? Here. There you go. Rescue beacon. No, let's see. That's not a good top. That's not a good eye. what would be, it would be, spotting, sensing, scanning, divine awareness. Salvager's sight. When you make an ability check using insight, investigation, perception skills, or while using an orrery to make a scanning check, you can use your channel divinity features to change the roll to change the result of to whether for both advantage and disadvantage. Of the change the result of the change the result of the check to 20. Change the result of the die roll to 20 for both advantage and disadvantage checks. Because that means something. Because when you're doing a blind scan check, you roll 2 dice, 1 advantage and 1 disadvantage, and it'll tell you the minimum that you can observe and the maximum that you could observe. It's also a really fun way for a DM to do guards, like spotting things. Like at best, like if you're just on patrol, or if you're like keeping watch at camp, or whatever, or like just like casually investigating a room or something, you could always roll 2 dice, and you can use the disadvantage to be like what's the worst case scenario for them as a result of their die roll, and then the advantage die would be what would be the absolute best case scenario. Instead of having just a static number that is either success or failure, you can have 2 numbers that provides you like this range. And if the player has one, they know for a fact what their minimum is going. Let me take that back. They have an idea of what they think their result is going to be, but the DM could roll higher or lower. The lower the player rolls, the more likely they are to be able to get more information, because the DM is probably going to roll higher. If they roll really high, they know that the DM is probably going to roll lower, so you might get less information than you normally would. So the DM can use the combination of those 2 dice to give you the default information that you would have. But then since your character rolled really high with advantage, you can now make them milk that die result out of them. So you take the minimum, you provide them with the base information that they have, and like if they're doing like an investigation of a room, for instance, they'll have their die roll and your die roll, and you'll know which one is higher. You'll give them the results. You'll tell them whatever that low die roll would tell them, and then looking at their die, they can assess for themselves, is it worth investigating further because there's another die roll I don't know about, or is this enough? I'm content because I already rolled a 19. This is probably as good as it's going to get. I'm going to let it go. But if they want to continue pursuing it, thinking that the DM might have a higher die roll in hiding, that's when you start asking things like, what's the bookshelf got on it? Like, are there any secret compartments in the desk drawer? Is there like a sliding panel on the wall? The lowest die roll will just give all that stuff to you immediately when you enter the room. And then the player can then decide for themselves, did I miss something here? Like if they roll like a 19 when they roll into the room, it's like, yeah, there's a desk over there. And you can tell right away, it's like one of the shelves is off. It's like, okay, great, let's go ahead and look at that. It's like, yeah, there's a secret compartment there and it's overloaded with gold. It's like, oh my God, that's great. Like that's an easy way for you to be able to narrate that duality that exists. It's almost like that Daggerheart hope and dread. Hope and Fear, I guess. They roll the two 12s, and whichever one is higher is whether it's Hope or Fear. This is kind of like that, except it's reversed. It's like everything is just as it is. It's just, did you roll Hope or did you roll Fear? So for you to determine for yourself. Anyway, I'm kind of rambling. Theros and Strixhaven are some of it. Hey, that's awesome. Let's see. So yeah, but that's how that Salvager site works. And we have the aura, which is you always emanate a bubble of fresh air around you. If it's poisoned air that you're walking into, it just takes an action for you to cleanse your bubble, but you'll have to maintain concentration to keep it clean. If you're asleep, it can be sustained. And if you die, the aura turns off. So you're always going to be a source of fresh air for your allies if they're close to you, so you'll never die in space alone. You might starve to death or dehydrate, but you won't run out of air. So that's a decent level magic item. So that feels like a great 7th level spell. 15th level. Let's see. We have the Channel Divinity where you can ramp up. You can increase the damage by 10 for your lay on hand. So like at 3rd level, you'd be able to heal up to 150 hit points per day, assuming that you spent it all in one go with your Divine Repair. A lot of these ships have anywhere from fighter craft could have anywhere from like 15 to 100 hit points, while the larger vessels will typically be somewhere between 100 to 400 hit points themselves. So, or 200 to 400 hit points. So, Divine Repair can really get your ship out of some shit. And if you just find a wrecked ship in space, then you can just Divine Repair it to get it back up to ship-shape condition so you can start navigating with it. And of course, you're going to get the Create Spelljamming Helm spell. That just makes sense. But what are we going to do with 15th and 20th level? So let's go check out what kind of shit you normally get at 15th level. 20th is going to be some sort of crazy aura. I have an idea for the aura. What would it be? Aesthetic Companion. When you at 20th level, your aura of fresh air. I want to do this. The aura is supposed to be me, and I'm supposed to transform. The thought was there's this aesthetic. It's basically like a space jellyfish. It's 50 feet in size, and it would be like a really great version of Fine Steed, like a really ramped up version of Fine Steed. I was thinking like the aura would like emanate from you, so like it's like you become inside of this jellyfish, and you can basically wield your aura as though, yeah, that'll work. But it's 20th level. God, I'd love for you to be able to have access to it at an earlier level, but I'm not seeing it. You can, at 20th level, you can assume. Let's look at a different example. Let's look at Vengeance. No, let's look at Devotion. Let's look at the Aura of Devotion and see what that one is like. Holy Nimbus. So action, you emanate an aura. Aesthetic Nimbus. There we go. That's cool. Okay, at 20th level, you emanate. At 20th level, as an action, you can emanate an aura of radiant energy that takes the form of an aesthetic. C, BAM, and SC and E. Of an aesthetic that you can capable an aesthetic that you can command as your ship while you remain within the space it occupies. The aesthetic remains active for 1 hour. You can remains present for as long as you maintain concentration, a minimum of 1 hour. And will remain for 1 hour after. That you can command as your ship while you remain within space it occupies. Otherwise, it uses its actions to move and dodge. There. So you can create a ship. We have the rules for the aesthetic. We have the expanded size, or the expanded rules here in the creature menagerie. Here's some Astral Knights riding scavers with force lances. That was fun to make. I love that picture. Here you go. Here's the aesthetic. Whoop. This is a Rieger construct. So basically, you're playing when at 20th level you become a Rieger. These creatures are 30 feet in size. The following revisions assume the aesthetic occupies a 6x6 space at the 5-foot scale. I use the stat. It's in Boo's Astral Menagerie in the DMsGuild. It's considered a craft constructed of a light material with a third-rank crew that the Rieger can issue mental commands to while they remain on the same plane of existence. An aesthetic can otherwise act independently, preferring to remain safe. Let's see. that you can command as detailed in as a rigor detailed in the creature in the monster's description. And will remain for 1 hour after. There we go. Once you use this feature, you can't do so again. What is the exact wording? You can't use it again. Use it again until you finish a long rest or spend a 4th or 5th level spell slot to regain. You can't use it again until, or alternatively, need words like alternatively. Alternatively, you can spend it has to be 5th. You can spend a 5th level spell slot to regain to use this feature again. There you go. You only get 1 5th level spell per day, so you at least can refresh it. Now we got to figure out this 15th level feature. I think that's great. It's a weird use of the transformation, but I think it stays in flavor and intent of Wild Space in general. I mean, it gives you a ship you can friggin' Spelljam with. You'll be able to at least get 5 million miles. Yeah, you'll be able to get 5 million. No, it'd be minute to minutes. Yeah, 5 million. Yeah, you can get 5 million miles in an hour. Assuming that you lose concentration, you only have an hour left. Then you could cap your 5th level spell again, or if you have to, you're just going to be drifting in space for the rest of the day in your air bubble. Get some sleep. When you wake up, you can do it 2 more times. For however long you can maintain concentration. If nothing's fucking with you, you'll have no problem maintaining concentration until you get to someplace safe. Now, 30 feet in size, you can easily accommodate a typical adventuring party with room to spare. So now it's just an issue with the 5th, purity of spirit. Beginning at 15th, you're always under the effect of protection from evil. Is 15th always some sort of a protection thing? Because we already have the air bubble. Well, literally protective spirit. I'm like, is it always a protection thing? Protective spirit, fuck you. Starting at 15th level, Holy Presence mends your wounds in battle. You regain hit points equal to blah. If you have hit points, protective spirit. Oath of Glory. Glorious defense. You can turn defense into a sudden strike when you or another creature you can see within 10 feet of you is hit by an attack roll. You can use your reaction to grant a bonus to the target's AC against that attack, potentially causing it to miss. The bonus equals CA bonus. If the attack misses, you can make 1 weapon attack against the attacker as part of the reaction, provided the attack is within your weapon's range. You can use this feature a number of times equal to I kind of like that as like a ship barrier, like creating a deflection shield around a ship that you're on. 15th level, you have access to 4th level spells. Well, I mean, let's be okay. Let's be perfectly serious here. We're gonna put in some. We're gonna start adding in some spells, and we're gonna have a pretty fucking hardcore spell list. The spell list come after tenets. Channel Divinity becomes after tenets, before Channel Divinity. What is it called? Bonus spells. Both of Salvage spells. And when we finish this, we're going to do some artwork. Palace spells. Three, 5, 9, 13, 17. Nope. Okay, there we go. Let's see. This is going to be OT Luke's Resilient Sphere for fucking sure. We're going to go with, what is it? Canaan's Private Sanctuary, second and first. We'll figure it out. Create Spelljamming Helm. I think it's a 3rd level spell, right? Let's go check. Huh? That's not an actual spell, is it? All right. Let's just go find Spelljammer real quick. We'll do it. We'll do it that way. Backgrounds, adventuring, speed, sensations, air envelope, duels, magic items, ships, spells. We should obviously add these spells. So, 5th, create Spelljamming Helm. Thank you. And I think Fabricate is 4th. And this will be Air Bubble. Private Sanctum. Hey, thank you. Wording Canaan's Private Sanctum. 4th level. Thank you. Seriously. Let's go to our spellcasting chapter. Remind ourselves what's out there. Fabricate is 4th level. That's really useful. Leland's Tiny Hut. That's what I was looking for. Thank you. That's 3rd level? Yeah. Let's see. We need a tiny hut. And fabricate's really, really good. And an object. Oh god, Big V's hand is so cool in space. Awaken. Creation isn't bad. Holy weapon. I can only go up to 5th. Ooh, God, scrying isn't bad. That's God, is that 5th level? Fuck. That's really, really useful. It's really, really useful. Okay, let's take it. Looks resonant sphere. What's some more cool 4th level stuff? When you amplify this spell, you can fabricate an object within 50 feet in size for each level of spell slot spent up to 250 feet with a 5th level spell slot. The cost of material to fabricate a ship is half the listed cost up above. We can use a fabricate, but we can use a fabricate's perfect for salvage. What am I talking about? Why is this even a debate? Mending spell is pretty freaking obvious to have, but I don't think that's 1st level. I think that's a cantrip. Let's see, what's some other cool 2nd level stuff? Let's go look at my expanded spell list here. Thank you. All spells. I want to open this up a little bit. Well, I mean, whether it's... I was looking to see if it was going to be a Paladin spell or not. Wording Bond. I think that's a Paladin spell. I'm sure it is. Let's go. We may as well just go find out. Super useful in ships. Super, super useful. Oh my god, it's not. Wow. Okay. Wow. What a useful spell to pick up. Warding Bond can be used to help mitigate damage to a ship. And it's a 2nd level spell. Wow, that's a really useful spell. Air Bubble and Warding Bond. And these tiny huts. What's another cool 3rd level goodness that we can toss on here? Clairvoyance isn't a bad spell for salvage. Neither is Arcane Eye, to be quite frank. Oh my god, Arcane Eye? That'd be so fucking sick. Can I squeeze Arcane? No, because Fabricate is way too good for a 4th level spell. I can't let that go. We can use Clairvoyance instead of Arcane Eye. God, this guy is decked out with good spells, man. He's like legit good spells for salvage. So cool. Let's see. Unseen Servant isn't a bad idea for salvage. Tensor's Floating Disc. That's not a bad idea for salvage. God, both of those are really, really good options. I think those are my best picks. Because ideally, we want to bring spells into their portfolio that aren't normally there. Sometimes it's okay, like this is already a Paladin spell, but it's so useful. Let's just make sure you have it all the time because you're obviously going to take it. Like that's like spells that you're obviously going to take because this is who you are, the kind of bonus spells you should have. But once those are resolved and there weren't any obvious standouts for the Paladin list, then you know this is where we're at. Unseen Cert, yeah, Tensor's Floating Disc. God, that's awesome. I love Tensor's Floating Disc. Tensor's Floating Disc can support 500 pounds of weight, and you can move it like it's nothing. A ballista weighs 500 pounds. So you can put a ballista on a Tensor's Floating Disc and navigate and like just carry it around like luggage on wheels. Is basically, as long as you have a 10-foot space, you can push a ballista down a hallway on a Tensor's Floating Disc, and your team can just have a ballista with them in the dungeon as long as it can accommodate the space. You can't squeeze equipment, so it has to be a 10-foot corridor. But in larger dungeon spaces like giants and stuff like that, you can totally just wheel a fucking siege engine into into the dungeon with you to tear holes through stuff. Okay, so best player tactics. The wizard is maintaining concentration on Tensor's Disc and is floating the ballista. You have either Unseen Servant. You have an Unseen Servant, which is also a ritual, and you can have some like just NPC followers that you hire otherwise. So you can have them. You need 3 of them to man the ballista. The wizard can act as one of them. And then you only need 2 additional crew, like an Unseen Servant, or like 2 undead minions that you can command. It's like a necromancer. And then you want 3 war dogs. You want to have a pack of war dogs with your party to protect the ballista from being attacked, so they can create blocks. That way, your other 2 or 3 characters, maybe 4 that you have on team with you, can act independently, so they don't have to just sit and defend the turret. But that turret will do d4 times 10 piercing damage as long as the target doesn't have cover. If it has cover, like if a creature has cover and it's smaller than 50 feet in size, like a human 5 foot, if they have at least partial cover, you're not going to be able to hit them with a siege weapon because there's not enough body area exposed to danger. Because ballistas, like siege weapons, aren't very precise weapons. They need large things to hit. So if you have any cover, the ballista bolt's not going to connect. So as long as the target doesn't have any cover, you can take siege weapons like this into dungeons with you, and just tear like go into the dragon's lair and then pop it for like 30 points of damage or whatever. Love that. The artificer that we created can just do that. But yeah, I love this selection. This is good stuff. I still don't know what our 15th level spell feature is supposed to be yet, though. It's some sort of protection something. We're talking about salvage, so you're supposed to be picking up ships and crew that are drifting in space. Sanctuary. Maybe that's what we should be thinking about. That's a neat idea. Starting at 15th level, Holy Presence mends your wounds in battle. You regain hit points equal to blah. Let's go look at Oath of Redemption. How about Crown instead? Advantage on saving throws. Huh. How about so here's the idea. It is you have You have advantage on saving throws you make while in command of siege crews, ships. You have advantage on saving throws you make on behalf of a ship, squadron, of any ships or crew under your command. One of the rules that we have here is that you can, when you're in command of a ship crew or a ship or a squadron or a siege weapon crew, when you're in command of them, if they have to make a saving throw, you can make the saving throw for them, and you can take damage for them. One of the things that I do with my mounts and companions in my like Beastmaster's companion or a Paladin's summoned Fine Steed, is they have their own hit points, but the character that's in command of them can take any amount of damage for them at any time, and the creature companion can take any amount of damage for the character at any time as long as they're adjacent to them. So you can basically shield your pet from any amount of damage by choosing to take it yourself. And so that's how just companions, mounts, anything, any creature that you're commanding movement or actions of, I generally just allow you to take the damage so that your minions don't die and you don't lose that fantasy, but you're still taking damage. So your character still needs to be healed too. So, and you can take any amount of damage, all of it if you want to. In an AoE, they take damage and you take damage, but you can choose to take the damage twice to prevent them from taking any damage so they can survive and continue serving you. But you're taking more and more damage for them, so you're still sapping team resources to keep the team up and running. In the same way, if you're in command of a ship, or if you're a pilot, like if you're in command of a ship or multiple ships, if you're piloting a ship, or if you're in command of a siege crew, any of those, at any time you can choose to take damage for them, and you make saving throws for them. There you go. So that's what we were doing here. When you make that saving throw for your crew, you roll with advantage. So what would I call that? Grace of command. There you go. And holy shit, we just finished making a Paladin subclass for Spelljammer. That's pretty hardcore, man. This shit is cool as fuck. Do that. I love that spell list. I love the tenets. Just the Oath of Salvage in general is just a really fun idea. But this is basically an ornate coupon that's designed to be bundled with this. Maybe I'll make like a straight 5e version that doesn't rely on these mechanics, and then offer alternate mechanics that do use these. So if you don't have my book, you're cool, but you should really be using my book because it's super fucking cool. But yeah, that takes care of the Paladin today. So that was that. And what time is it? It's only 11 o'clock. Okay. So let's get out of this and let's get into some artwork instead. We can seal that, and I've got an hour. So I'm going to refresh my coffee, and then I'm going to be right back. So stay tuned. I'll just, I guess, keep yelling over here. But yeah, it's what is that? The Paladin, the Fighter, the Monk, the Bard, the Barbarian, and the Artificer. So that's 6 out of 13 done. And I'm really looking forward to Monday, because they're going to Watsy's going to have a video about the 5e24 Rogue, and for the martial power system that we've been developing. Where we're at right now is Rogue and Ranger. We already took care of the Paladin, we took care of the Barbarian, the Fighter. So all we need is on on Monday the rogues to make sure our stuff stays compliant. And then on Friday we get the ranger. And that'll be the last one that we need for us to be able to make sure the martial power system is consistent enough with what will be in September for us to continue playtesting, which is exciting. We'll be able to. That probably means like in another 2 weeks, we'll be able to continue playtesting the martial power system, which is the color mana system that we built for martial characters to have a mana pool, just like spellcasters do, so that all 13 classes in D&D, when we're done, all 13 classes will have a mana pool that uses either monk or half-casting resources, like I showed at the beginning of this earlier with the color mana system. All 13 classes will have the same color mana pool, and martials will have the martial power stuff that spellcasters don't get, and then the spellcasters will have their spellcasting, which martials don't get. And then the hybrid sits in between them, the paladin, artificer, the paladin and ranger, which do have spells. They also have access to powers, so they can choose either one. They can choose powers or spells, your choice. So let's see. I'm just gonna mess around with this for an hour. The full layout of this thing is done. So for folks that haven't seen this before, these are 50-foot squares. It's a Mercane, basically it's a warship, but it's the home of Vokath the Mercane. So it has to accommodate 10-foot space. So each 2 pixels equals 1 foot. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This is 5 feet, and this is 5 feet. This is a 10-foot stairway that leads up to the center of the top of the arena roof, but just for maintenance and stuff. But you go back down, and you have this open deck space, which is what, 30? It's 40 feet wide, because this is like a 5-foot space here for like thick ledging, and then 10 foot wide here, and this is 15 feet, and this is 15 feet. So that's a 40-foot space that goes to here. And these double doors can close off, and there's a ramp that goes down, or you can go through these doors here into Vokath's private sanctum. And then there's a doorway here that leads up. And that leads to the private deck where his spelljamming ship, Devil's Deal, is parked. Double door here that can be locked, so you open up the doors. And this is just open space here. These are just open ledges, and these are pillars, so that the roof has something to sit on. Otherwise, these are just open. So you come up the ramp, open the doors, and then the ramp to the damselfly is right here. So you go from here to here, and then you go up into your ship, and then you fly it, and then it crawls out using its legs. It crawls out from its nook here, and then just flies off. So we keep the rooftop on there, and yeah. So we have roof, private ship, top layer. Here is the servants. Here is the reception deck. This is Vokath's throne room. A double door to access that. These doors open, and this is a ramp that goes down. And if you go along this way, this is a concealed trap that can open for Vokath to drop down if he needs to. But right here, this is the box seat balcony over this open space, which is the arena, which oversees. This is the arena. This is the arena here. Something is missing. There we go. Right. Okay. Open. Okay. So this is the ramp that goes up, and it goes down here, and here's all the loading docks on the lower level. This is the servants deck because servants prep food here. You have the walk-in, like you can park your ship here, and then you walk down this ramp directly through this open door to a balcony ledge that oversees the arena where everyone will be battling, like for entertainment or whatever. Let's see, give me a second. Arena, and then across from the arena, this is open. This is like literally just open space on the gravity line of the ship. So cargo held in this area is literally weightless because it just gently bobs between both gravity planes. So it just hangs here with zero weight. And then this is open access to the cargo bay with a little security door. This is a kitchen for cooking food for Vokath upstairs here. You can bring food up, but also cooking for guests. So this little servant's double door can flip open like in a restaurant, and they can bring food and drink out to anybody that's out the balcony watching the tournament or any kind of battle that's happening in the arena. Flip double doors here, and here's like linens and storage and stuff like that. There's also a bathroom in here. So if anyone needs to use the toilet, they can go through the servants' doors into the storage bay, into the toilet, and use the black pudding in a bucket to take care of that. Hey, what's up? Hey, Gabby. I am doing great. Thank you. It's been a bit since Spelljammer. Yeah. I started making this document back in August 22 when the book first came out. This is 100, basically everything that was missing from Spelljammer that I remembered from 1990 when the second edition came out. I wanted to update those rules to work with 5e, but I wanted to wait what Wizards of the Coast did with 5e before building the book, because I wanted to make sure it was building on all the things that WotC wanted to have in the book. So this is compliant, but vastly expands on both combat and exploration and wild space systems and astral space, all that astral sea, all that stuff that was in the 22 release that has been delved in deeper and embellished, so that you can actually run if you have this, all the tools that you actually need to build and run a Spelljammer campaign, other than the ideas they actually do it, like a random system generator, how to build those systems, like how to map them, how to navigate and find things in the astral sea, how to detect stuff floating in wild space, how do like asteroid systems work, like how fast do planets go around the sun, how do you map it, how do moons go around around their planets, how do you map that? That's all inside of here, plus action economy for fast-paced dogfighter combat, and a full conversion guide for Lattice to show how it all works. But this was in Lattice too, Vokath's base. We converted his base into a 500-foot battleship that is going to be part of a fleet battle that the team performs to win favor with the warlords that they're trying to gain help with to fight the space elves. Spoiler alerts. So let's conceal that and that so that we have this. And we need this up top, and this gets concealed when we have the roof on, which means I need to. That's what I need to do. Okay, so right now I need to drop the lock, and I need to drop this layer. There's a gap. Let me show you. When the ship's in combat, these galleyways, this walkway folds up, and in fact shields like these doors. These are just open doors that lead out to the deck. So in combat, this would fold in and then like a drawbridge raise up and seal across all the doors so that people can't just come in through the arena and start attacking you. So we have to be able to seal those up. But if we do that, you have this weird phenomenon that you can see here. You can see some of the underdeck, like the cargo level, is poking through the top side stuff. So I need to insert this. I need to fix that discretion, which is pretty easy to do. I can just do it on the reception desk, on the reception deck here. Let's grab the circle. There, and we'll just go down in here. Like that. But yeah, the book has fleet mechanics, so you can command multiple ships in combat. It's really simple mechanics, and it uses your character's own action economy. So if you have multiple attacks, you can issue multiple commands. You can use your bonus action to issue additional commands. You can use your reaction as a pilot or a fleet commander to like do opportunity attacks or to like ready actions. And then you don't have characters. Ships don't have a movement speed per se. They have an amount of space, like they do have a movement speed, but you don't use the ship's movement speed. You use your character's own action economy to have the ship move, and you would do so with an object interaction, as though you were steering. Like if you were steering a truck, you would use your action economy. You would use your object interaction to pilot that vehicle, and that's what you do with this system as well. So your character could, during a turn, move to a spelljamming helm, use a bonus action to attune to it, use an object interaction to then move the ship 5 squares at whatever scale of movement you're currently operating at, because that can change. Wait for it. There it is. Something feels off. No, okay, that's perfect. Go drop down to here. There. Now it's sealed up properly. So I can conceal this deck and bop, 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 bop. Uh-oh. Mingy Wingings. I need to do this differently. Let's pull this out. We're figuring it out. If I did that, this would still be okay. And something's off. Hold on. Certain quarters okay. Why is this off? Something feels off. Why is this? Where is this color coming from? That's weird. I have a mystery. Oh, the arena frame. I don't need that right now. Right. That's what was causing trouble. Cool. Everything is back on task. Let's seal the reception deck up. And here. This is where I need to be. Just like that. I'll catch up on chat here in a second. I can't hyperfixate on pixels and look at chat at the same time. I want more races from 2E. Yeah, fair enough. Penguin folks, let go. Penguin folks, let's go. Flying boards are awesome. Yeah. Spelljammer is fun, man. It was Planescape and Spelljammer were my favorite campaign settings throughout 2E, and pretty much since I've always incorporated them into my Cypher system campaigns and in my 3rd edition and 5th edition. I didn't play 4th edition D&D. I played Cypher instead. Pathfinder and Cypher. I just couldn't resonate with 4E. For some reason I just completely bounced off of it. And I wasn't even looking at any of the hate online, like this is such a stupid game. I just looked at it and it's like, God, this is all, it's so uniform in design. Like I'm not feeling any fantasy or excitement about these options at all. It was a well-built setting. It was good books. There was a shitload of options. It's just that I didn't care about reading any of them. And that's the first time I had ever really just walked away from D&D. It felt weird. I did play 4th edition Gamma World, though. Gamma World in 4E was fun as hell. Because it was sci-fi, like the mechanical nature of 4E didn't lend itself to the organic appeal that fantasy has. You know what I mean? There's a real organic feel to fantasy games, and sci-fi games have this more hard-edged mechanical thing to it. It's like the genre kind of leans to the way that the mechanics are framed, and there was just too much efficiency. It was too efficient in 4E. It just didn't feel like fantasy to me. It's a shame, but it is what it is. Let's see. There. So this is how it looks when. Oops. Let's put the roof back on. There. This is how it looks when it's in combat mode, and when it is not in combat, it folds up its legs. And it extends its greeting decks. So there you go. This is what it looks like as the fort, or as the base, and again as the fully operational battle station. Here it is. Big old, it only has 6 legs, so it's not technically like a lobster, but it's kind of like a lobster. I don't know. It's got a weird little abdomen. I don't know what you would call it. A little bug thing. Anyway, we have gotten to the point where I can start rendering lighting details on this. And as a demonstration of what that looks like, here is the damselfly ship that I built. So you can see that there's some subtle shading and highlighting going on here. So I'm planning on doing that same subtlety. Nothing too severe, no hard lighting from any particular direction other than just like directly top down. So that is what we will endeavor to do. And I've got 40 minutes left this morning for me to work on that. I do this on Monday nights too. So what I don't get done here today, we're going to do on Monday night. Monday through Friday in the mornings, I do Eberron cartography. It's stuff like this style of art, but for an Eberron adventure that I've been writing with Stuart Braz and Andy Headley. And I wonder about this. Hold on. I kind of want to. out and then in. Like, yeah, I like that. Because this would be like a roof, like it would go up to the roof. It's not just an open hole. It's a door that can be sealed off. So having the wings overlapping it didn't make any sense. This makes sense. To me, anyway. So let's put the roof back on. That's good. Zoom out. Perfect. Open this up. Drop this in. Right. Oh, that's right. We were taking a quick tour. So let me finish the tour, and then we'll get to work on the lighting. So roof, damselfly, Vokath's private sanctum, double doors that lock, large exterior doors that lock to prevent access from the outside. This is a ramp up to the the deck where the ship is at. This is a ramp down into his throne room. This goes further down. This door opens. These are the doors where guests off of the ramps could come up to and meet with Vokath here. There's probably supposed to be a double door that separates this. I'll double check that. But this is a ramp that goes down, and this is a ramp that goes down. They both go down to the servant deck. And again, during combat, these would be retracted so they don't offer a place for enemies to land. But this interior space, the kitchen for cooking for guests that are arriving, as well as going up to Vokath. And notice that you can here there's these double doors here, so you can go from the servant's kitchen up around without being seen in here, and then come around to here, and you can either exit these doors to serve guests that are here, or you can come around this way. I should really put double doors in here as well to seal this off, but then go all the way around here, either double doors here or here. That'll lead you upward again, back up to this rooftop space that could then be double doored again through to get to Vokath. And these doors can be closed normally, so that there's just like a dead end here. Turn right, Vokath. There you go. Or turn left if the doors are open. You get to here. You open this door. You step to here. This door can close off space down there if necessary for some reason, but you can open both of these, and then you can wheel your way out here onto the top deck. Let's see. After that, we have the servants' quarters. Again, and a washroom in here and storage. This is a dumbwaiter shaft that is also above where Vokath's booth is at. This is a hidden door, a hidden trap door. He can pop a button, and it'll open up, and it'll toss him down into the elevator shaft. But he can fly. He can levitate, so he doesn't care. It drops him in here, and he can either use these doors to open up to go into the servants' lounge, or he can continue to fall through. This is the midline gravity point where cargo has 0 gravity, and this is the floor of the arena right above 0 gravity. You can drop down further to this we're now on the underside of the ship. And so gravity flips, dropping down this far, and this X represents that there's an open hole above and below. So this just continues falling through. This will fall through to the bottom deck. Where is it? Thank you. Underside is... it drops through here to here. And this is on the bottom side of the ship. This is a loading and unloading dock. There's doors that open and close here for access to the zero point cargo bay. But similarly, a ship can land here, and these animated objects, these claws, can grab cargo off of a ship, drop it down through this hole, which then leads to the interior space through here to the dumbwaiter for supplies. There, and there, and there, and there. This actually needs to be open. Where's that line coming from? We're gonna end up having to do a lot of little cleanup details like this, I'm sure. It's a pretty fucking big, intricate map. That would not surprise me at all. And we have the separator here. That feels pretty good. That's a 5-foot ledge there. Transform. Flip vertical. Where's my flaw? Where's that flaw coming from? We'll find it. Square that away. Cool. So now cargo that drops down. Through here can just float out here or just get nudged over these little walkways. There, that feels good. There should probably be a walkway that can lead So if I put a walkway in here, it would restrict the size of it, but we could have a walkway that goes there that could then lead up here as just like a spiral stairway that just curls up here. There you go. That wouldn't be a bad idea. Yeah, we can do that. I'm not going to do it right now, but that is something when I do final cleanup, I'll do that off screen. So this is looking pretty good for now, but I like that those are missing. I like keeping that open so we know that there's a flaw that needs, well, not a flaw, but there's a revision that we need to make. That's good. Top side, roof, dump. That's all good. So now we can start doing that lighting detail. Sorry, I've been ignoring. The Feywild book looks worth reading. Yeah. Wild Beyond the Witchlight, is that what it's called?
I would not fight that funk. Let's see. What I do need to do is, I need to turn off the lighting there. We can go down to here. Let's grab our reference image of Volcath's fortress. I don't know how to do this. Only have to do a quarter of it because I can fill in the other quarter by just replicating and just cloning, duplicating, flipping, blah. Something like this. We'll have to do a three-dimensional painting of everything remains relative. Words, Kearney. You're using words today. I'm gonna hit save real quick because something just told me to. The response time on the cursor slowed down for a second, which tells me there's a potential crash if the graphics card decides to hiccup. Alternatively, I could do it like this. I think I like it this way: edge light, and then it diffuses further up. I think I like that better. I think this one is better. Let's do it like this. So it has less highlights the further down it curves. I think that will probably end up looking good. Yeah, this is going to work out. There, yeah. This is working out. So far, so good. Let's grab this tool. Okay, good point. Let's keep sweeping around here till we get our full quarter arc. I can't just drag this down. That doesn't make sense. Hey, 20 minutes left? Yep. Ooh, less than 20. Yeah, about 20. Let's just do this again. Transform. I said enter, thank you. This lined up. Here to even that out. Then we'll merge these down, we'll duplicate them. Free transform. All goes well. All did not go well. There we go. It's not perfect. It's not horrible either. Then 10% here. This was 10. This was 100%. This is 0 erase. This is 10% erase. This is 20% erase. This is 30% erase, and then we're good. And it is creating a cascading sort of wheel effect, which is what I wanted. So far so good. So far so good. So what? Let's delete that. And then let's move back over to here. I can't do it this way. I have to do it a different way. Nah. All that here to here. This is the way I'm going to have to do it. Transform, bump, bump, bump. Nothing ever really lines up. So free transform. Now we can free transform is going to be 21.38. 2 on. 2 on. What happened? Free transform. 21.38. Enter. Enter. Why couldn't you? Selection area is empty. Jesus fuck. That's. I wish I had the ability to nudge. It won't let me nudge because it's too faint. There. Nope, that's off alignment just a touch. Come on. There, good enough. We're going to duplicate that layer. Seriously? Oh, fuck nuggets.
Aha.
Not bad. Free transform. This is the gig. This is why we get paid the big bucks. To do amazing things like this. Off by like a degree. There we go. See, starting to look pretty good. I just need one more and then I should be able to replicate the whole pattern. So let's duplicate. I'm having a hard time distinguishing the enter button from the shift button on this new keyboard. I'm not loving this keyboard. I may go just get a different one. Bam. Let's duplicate that. And free transform. There, not bad. Not bad. Spokes. What is going on? Thank you. Let's let's do that. Let's there, that looks pretty good. Oh, what I should do is make a masking layer. Like that. Probably should be like 64 pixels. No, 66. Let's just go with 70. Let's see what 70 does. I guess it's gonna be 80 then. Jeez, we just keep nudging this guy up, don't we? That feels like it's too big, but it doesn't feel horrible. Let's do this. Yeah, that's frame. That's structural stuff, so that needs to have a roof. Cool, we're on the right path. Let's do this. Here, then down here like that. Oof, that targeting is difficult. There we go. Got it. This, and then free transform, flip vertical. Come on, man. Yeah, this keyboard is not super good. There we go. Merge that down. this is turning out. This is great. What a blessing. Thank you. Probably should have done this before I duplicated, but that's where we're at right now. I like it. I like how this is coming along. I'm gonna just finish up these struts, and then I'll be done for the day. I stream 10 times, 12 times per week, 10, something like that. Anyway, I stream a lot. Mondays through Fridays in the morning, I do cartography and creature token art and book art for the Eberron adventure that I am publishing with Andy Healy and Stuart Bras. On Tuesdays and Fridays, we work on the martial power system. Updating the alternate magic system to work with the 2024 system that's coming out as we get the information. We'll be working that. We're going to be revisiting the Rogue on Tuesday, and on Friday we'll be revising the Ranger accordingly. And then on Wednesdays we do Spelljammer subclass design like we did when we started this stream with the Paladin. We should be doing, I guess we'll be doing the, probably the Cleric or the Druid maybe. I'm not sure which we're going to do on Tuesday. Whatever, we'll do Wednesday. We'll do one of them on Wednesday. We still have a Cleric, a Druid, a Warlock, a Sorcerer, and a Wizard to do all the full casters. And the Ranger. Ranger and the full casters. And then on Mondays and Mondays and Thursday nights like this. We do. This isn't Monday or Thursday night, but we do this ship design and the adventure that this ship belongs to. That's what we do on our Mondays and Thursday nights. And then Saturday morning like this is a grab bag, whatever I want to do. I'll probably work on subclasses and martial powers next Saturday, I reckon. All right, and we'll have to do the spokes for here and here as well, and they'll use the same lighting as we have on the wheels. We'll have the same color level of on these wheels as where they're at on the spokes. And that will finish this top side, and then we'll need to render, close up that roof. Right, so we'll then need to do all the gear work and machinery for the mechanical bits, the combat chesty crabby bits, and then we'll do the underside the same way. We might be able to finish that in a 2-hour period of time. So we might be done with this map as is on Monday, which means that on Thursday when we come back we'll start doing the environment, the battle map for the environment of the battle and the upper atmosphere of the Moon of Vokath, and then we'll throw down the stats for everything, and then we'll play test it. So I imagine we're going to be doing a play test. I think it's going to be on a Monday night. I think we might be able to do a play test either on Monday or on Monday the 1st or the 8th. And I'm in Seattle, so that's Pacific time, so sometime like that. So that's coming up. So I'm gonna hit save here. I'm gonna drop out of streaming for the rest of the day. I've got more Eberron stuff that I need to work on, some text cleanup and page work. So I'll be back on Monday morning working on the Eberron maps. I'll be back Monday night working on this some more, and then we'll continue with the rest of our week. So thanks all for hanging out with me, guys. I really appreciate it. And anyone else that's catching hold of the stream, I really appreciate you. And I will catch you all on the flip side. Thanks a lot.